2024 has been a roller coaster of a year. We have had some real tremendous lows and some very high highs. Today, we're going to go through the worst and the best projects of 2024.
We each have our top five best and our top five worst. Getting right into my top five worst projects of the year. At number five, Venom: The Last Dance. Christ, that movie sucks. Well, I guess we knew going into it. I mean, none of the Venom movies were great. Venom 1, I think, was probably the better one out of the three. It's bad. Eddie Brock's evolution, the villains. We get one particular thing, Noel, that we were kind of really looking forward to. There was no resolution to it. It's just kind of like, yeah, it's out there. We'll see what happens. Griff has a very specific idea of what he thinks is going to happen. So do I, but damn it, it's yeah, number five, Venom: The Last Dance. Just it sucked. At number four, another fucking Sony villain Spider-Man thing, Madam Web. Oh my God. Funny enough, a lot of you guys gave us shit because you guys were like, "Oh no, it's a good movie." You guys don't know what you're talking. That movie was shit from start to finish. The best thing about this movie is someone I've been complaining about for a long time, Sydney Sweeney. She is the absolute best thing about this movie, and yes, because she's so good looking. I don't have a problem with her acting. I just don't think she's that great of an actress, but I've never had an issue with her look. She is stunning to look at. And it's sad that she's the best thing in this movie. The story blows. The villain is a complete asswipe. Even the visuals suck. So yeah, at number four, Madam Web. At number three, damn it, this one pissed me off. The Crow. Fuck, man, this movie did not need to be remade. Are there great remakes out there? 100%. Scarface is one of them. And yes, before you guys bite me, Scarface is a remake. The Al Pacino movie, that's a remake. But this fucking movie, we got a solid actor. I don't know what, other than the paycheck, of course. But the story just didn't make any sense. Griffin, I don't know if it's on his worst list. I kind of hope it is because he explains it way better than I do. But the love, the romance in this movie makes, for anyone that bitched about Anakin and Padme, this makes no goddamn sense whatsoever. She's like on crack. They're just into doing like the original Crow with Brandon Lee. That's a true love story. His chick gets raped and murdered. He comes back to avenge her. This fucking shit, it's just this movie sucks. He looked like Jared Leto's lame ass Joker. At number two, and Griff and I have boggled about this, and I had to rewatch it again last night because it's already fucking available on Max. Joker 2 Fully Ado. Fuck. If there's ever been a cash grab, this is it. This movie sucks way harder than I can even describe in words. It's a musical. It's a satire of his original movie, The Joker 1, which is a good movie, by the way. Joaquin Phoenix, I don't even think he did his best. I think he was like, I got paid. I'm just going in there and shoehorn it. Lady Gaga, she's an amazing singer and she has shown that she can act, but she's not Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn, fuck you guys, is Margot Robbie. This movie sucks for all kinds of reasons, but the music part of it, it was unnecessary. And I'm not opposed to musicals. I actually really enjoyed Wicked, but this shit, it bored me all the way through from beginning to end. And at number one, my worst project of the year, The Acolyte. Fuck, this show sucks. Breaks canon, pisses people off. If you're a true Star Wars fan, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. If you're a true Star, I don't care what anyone says. If you're a true Star Wars fan, this show has to piss you off. You can't sit here with a straight face and tell me, Edward, well, I'm a true Star Wars fan and I love this show. You're fucking lying. There's no fucking way. It breaks canon. It paints Ki-Adi-Mundi as a complete moron. Either he was in on it or he's just a complete dickhead, which doesn't make sense because later on he gets whacked by Order 66 any goddamn way. So fuck that argument. Yoda shows up at the very last episode like a complete asshole. And yes, Griff makes a good point. He did know about Sidious sitting fucking right in front of the guy, but whatever. We've been told time and time again the Sith have been extinct for a millennia. So they're just walking around. There's one good fucking thing about this entire stupid ass show, and that's between I think 10 or 12 Jedi, and he fucks them all up. That's the one good thing about this show. It was It was an actually a pretty solid Jedi slaughter battle, whatever. Lightsaber whip, I yeah, that's not it's not ever gonna work for me. Fuck that. I know it's in the comics before a lot of you guys get on me. I realize that. It sucks in the comics, it sucks in live action. I don't want to see it. The show took forever to get started. When it does get started, why the Jedi need a fucking seeker? That little furry thing that was they have the force. They can sense other force sensitive that fuck this show, seriously. That's my top five worst pieces of shit projects of the year.
At number five for the worst project of the year is actually Immaculate because I forgot that movie existed until Edward started talking about Sydney Sweeney. Honestly, she's not really to blame for this movie. This movie's entire premise is terrible. I get it. It's they want to recreate like the Virgin Mary and everything. I get it, but the way they go about it, the science, it is all horrible. I walked out of this theater with my dad and we were like, why the hell did we even watch that? This movie made no sense whatsoever, and it's more fantasy than it is science fiction. It was awful. That number four, I'm kind of lumping three movies together. The entire Sony villainverse is at number four. Because we had Craven, we had Venom the Last Dance, and we had Madam Web. And they're all terrible. Venom the Last Dance is an utter waste to the end of a trilogy. It has good action, some good comedy. That's the only thing redeeming about it. It it fucking sucks. All because of we got the null at the end for teased for a fourth Venom movie that's never gonna happen. Madam Web for every reason Edward said. And then Craven is just surprisingly the most disrespectful out of all of them, but is a little bit has higher quality with the movie being made, but it's still right up there with them. It's fucking terrible. Number three is The Crow. And yeah, exactly as Edward said, and they're just a bunch of horny teenagers the entire movie. It's not love, it's strictly lust. They completely missed the point of The Crow. It's not worth it. Some movies don't need to be remade. I'm amazed at this point that Star Wars hasn't been remade. And number two is The Acolyte. The only reason why it's at number two, not number one, is because of the amazing lightsaber fight that Edward mentioned. I am extremely lucky because I was on vacation during the series finale of this show, so I haven't even finished it yet, and nor will I ever finish this shit. I know what happens. Edward and I talked about it, but I'm never watching that finale ever. But the worst project, as many of you have guessed, is Joker 2, Fully Ado. That movie's out of everything on this list. This movie is the most cash grab. It didn't need to be made whatso fucking ever. It being a musical, completely it. I'm a huge fan of musicals. I love Disney movies. I love going to see musicals, and this movie sucked. Yeah, sure, the music did play into the story, but it didn't need to. This entire movie, I've seen more stuff happen in a 20-minute episode of a kid show than an entire 2-hour Joker movie. This was bullshit. It ruins the first movie. It is just, it's awful. Out of everything on this list, I would rather not watch Joker and I would rewatch everything else on this list. Fuck that movie. It is my least favorite movie of all time. I hate it so goddamn much.
All right, and moving on to happier moments because 2024 also had amazing fucking projects. My top five best projects of the year. At number five, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I fucking really like this movie. I love the cast. I like the fact that they had legacy characters, but they moved on to the kids. The kids are solid. I really had a good time with this one. We saw Slimer in this one. I really like McKenna Grace. I think she carries this franchise. I love that Paul Rudd's in here, and I love the fact that he gets the mom and that they're all Ghostbusters. I love it that there's, their family of Egon Spencer and they're carrying forth with the legacy. I hope we get more of these. At number four, another surprise. I did not think I was going to like this movie because let's be honest, the previous three fucking alien movies have been okay. This one was good. Wasn't great, but it's better than a lot of what's come. And I really like the main actress. I think that girl she reminds me of a younger Natalie Portman. solid actress. I thought she carried the film very, very good. A lot of people are like, "Oh, she's like Sigourney Weaver." I don't think so. I never was into Ripley. I like the film. Yeah, 90% of the cast got whacked in the fucking trailers. Thanks a lot, but it's still enjoyable to watch. I had a good time with it. So yeah, at number four, Alien Romulus for me. At number three, Dune Part Two. Fuck, that was good. And it's only at number three because wait until you see my number two and number one. But Dune Part Two, again, solid cast. Austin Butler, I think, plays one of the most memorable villains I've seen in the last 2, 3 years easily. Timothy Chalamet, I mean, that kid is fucking phenomenal. But I don't want him as Damian Wayne because I know a lot of people keep he's a little bit up there now in age. But I think that kid's great. I had a great time. Florence Pugh as Princess, I thought fit. I still can't believe we got Christopher Walken as the Padishah Emperor. Thought that was pretty cool. I am a fan of the first book, so yeah, this one worked for me. I thought Denis Villeneuve's move to split it into two movies, I thought was great because the this has been adapted several times. It's never really worked because they try to cram the entire book into film. Didn't work. This one pretty solid. I was very entertained. At number two is a project that Griff and I were anticipating for a very long time. When it finally came out, man, it has for me. There's a particular death scene in here. It fucking rivals any death scene out there. X-Men 97 for me, my number two project of the year. I absolutely love this project. The animation is really cool. The voice casting is amazing. It's very well written. I know there's a lot of drama out there with Boy DeMaio. Don't know what to say about season two. I hope it's as good as season one. If it's even as good as season, it doesn't have to be better, hopefully. But if it's as good as season one, fuck, we're in for a great ride. It gets me excited for the X-Men. I'm currently rewatching it. Great, great show. And at number one for me, Chris was surprised. Deadpool and Wolverine. It has become my new favorite superhero movie of, well, not of all time, but up to date. It's just Ryan Reynolds really understands this character, man. He knocked it out of the ballpark. Sean Levy did a phenomenal job. Hugh Jackman coming back. We finally get Wolverine in the blue and yellow. Not only do we get him in the blue and yellow, but we get him in the fucking comic book accurate cowl. And he even went as far as the dude's got the fucking white eyes. My boy Gambit's here. He's my third favorite fucking superhero of all time. I don't care what anyone says. I think Channing Tatum, and I was so against this shit, but he knocked it completely out of the ballpark with the athleticism, agility, the accent. If you guys don't think he did a great accent, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He killed that Cajun accent. Those are my top five. I had a great time with these. They're very rewatchable. If you haven't seen them, go watch them.
At number five for the best project of the year is a show we never actually reviewed on this channel, but it's Three Body Problem. It is a really good sci-fi show. It's on Netflix. I watched it all in one day. I was on a trip. It was amazing. It's heavy into sci-fi and physics. It is so much fun, and I got into it so quickly. If you haven't seen Three Body Problem, I highly recommend it. I did not see enough people talking about this. It has been confirmed for another season. It's based on a book. It is fantastic. At my number four, it's Deadpool and Wolverine. I thought it's really good for everything that Edward said. It's an amazing movie. I've seen it 3 or 4 times now. It is so much fun, and I was extremely sick when I saw it in theaters. I was bedridden a few days
I
before,
remember that.
and
Yeah.
this movie did make me feel a lot better. I very much enjoyed it. At number three is Inside Out 2. I think this is a really well done movie. The first one is also incredibly well done, but this one is better. They continue Riley's story, and the way they portray anxiety was extremely well done, and I would say very accurate. It was a well made movie with a good story, and I'm really enjoying the Inside Out franchise. I think it's great for kids, but I think it's also really great for adults to see because it's very relatable. At least it was for me. And then for number two for me is X-Men 97. Exactly what Edward said. I've watched this show within 24 hours. It's amazing. super rewatchable. It has fantastic action, and we finally got Cyclops done right. Those action sequences were so goddamn good. Got
Fucker, I forgot
Storm.
to say that.
Yeah, we got Storm being called an Omega level mutant. It was fucking amazing. It did everything that X-Men 92 did right and then made it better. It's fantastic. And then my number one for the year is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Season 2 of Arcane. I love this show. I can't stop talking about this show. It has fantastic visual storytelling. The soundtrack is amazing. The animation, the action, it is so well done and it tells such a great story. They spent $250 million producing 2 seasons, and you can tell, and it was worth every penny. It is so good, and I cannot recommend this show enough. For as much as I hate Joker 2, I love Arcane. It is an amazing show, and if you haven't seen it, please give it a chance. I have cried during this show. If I hear certain songs now, I just get happy remembering things about it. It is so well done. I cannot wait for more of this. It is going to be so good. 2024 has been a memorable year for sure. There's been a lot of great things that have happened on this channel, outside this channel, but we can't wait for 2025. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let us know what your favorite and least favorite projects were for this year. Thank you guys so much. Leave a like and subscribe. And if you've been with us for the entire year, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much. It's been another year of Nerd Doctors, and it's been a pretty good one. I'm not going to forget this one. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah. Uh, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, guys. Take care. Have it, have a blessed holiday season. Look forward to another year of Nerd Doctors. Thank you, as Griff said, from the bottom of our hearts. We love doing this. This is what we want to do for the rest of our lives. Take it easy.